We have what,
so that
54,
I can
No
stay in the position
Democrat.
I'm in now.
Come
Thank you
on.
very much. I'm glad that you're actively against what's best for me and my kids. I appreciate that.
Well, what's more likely? The Republicans are come around or the Democrats, four of them?
This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The disclaimer is down in the description box. Hello, and welcome to the Think Tank. We use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased logical conclusions. Today, we're here to talk about the third week of the government shutdown with what it doesn't look like is going to come to an end anytime soon, because I don't think the House Republicans are going to come and negotiate. But we have the Honorable Dion Powell with us.
That's over.
Yes, the co-host of our show, who's going to give the other perspective and explain to us why the House Republicans aren't coming to the table, or will debate over what we believe is the reason. So, Dion.
Hi, family. How you doing? This is District Leader Dion Powell out of the Bronx, New York. Community leader, consultant, strategist, in the political realm, as it were. And yes, we just need those 60 votes in the Senate, not the House of Representatives, to reopen the government.
Oh, it's the
And
Senate. I
Singapore,
thought it was the House.
no, the House has already settled this matter. Now the Senate just needs 60 votes out of the 100 members. Because we all know from civics, every state, no matter what population, has two United States senators. So there you go, times 50 states.
They won't even come to they're not coming to work. The House of Representatives are not willing to come to work. Donald Trump told them to stay home, and they've got what, like, oh, Midas Touch reported recently that they worked 12 out of the last what? I got it wrong here. 12 out of the last 15 days, or something like that, 16 days. They shut down the government because they shut down the House, rather, in order to avoid having a vote on the Epstein files at the top of the summer. They opened back up and they shut back down, and now they won't swear in Arizona's Grijalva, who's about to make the 218th vote necessary to open the Epstein files, and so he's not coming back to work to avoid, or what it looks like to me and many others, to avoid swearing in Ms. Grijalva in order to be able to vote on the Epstein files, which would be released at that point. It wouldn't be at that point. There's a few more steps to it, but her vote would start the system and mechanisms that would take in order for the entire file to be released. Of course, redacted names to protect the victims, of course, because this is what they're supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the victims. Instead, it's about Todd Blanche making a deal with Ghislaine Maxwell. Todd Blanche being Trump's personal attorney, who lost him a 34-count felony charges and got him all them charges, who's now the second in command. And I always bring up the fact that if you lost me 34 counts of felony charges, I wouldn't put you in second command of making a peanut butter sandwich. But he's in charge of the Department of Justice. He's the second commander of the Department of Justice under Pam Bondi. Second highest lawyer in the land. The guy can't win a case, but Trump's man got in. It's almost like he got something on him, almost. And then the same guy goes to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell, who was claiming she had something on Trump, according to reports. Again, this is for entertainment educational purposes only. Disclaimer down in the description box. But that's what the reports were saying. And then she got this deal they called the Sweetheart Deal, where she got transferred to a prison where there's a waiting list a mile long, where people with offenders, which she is convicted of, are not allowed. So Todd Blanche went and talked to her. She said, "Nope, nothing to see here. Trump's innocent." And suddenly she got transferred to a camp instead of the maximum security prison she was in. And on top of all of that, she has work release papers. She can go out into public. She has work release papers, the same as Epstein had in his first time when he went to jail in 2004. So they're making her the same kind of deal he got now, with Trump now floating a pardon for her. The only thing that could stop this is new information coming out, which would be the Epstein files, which are slowly being released. Some of this paperwork is slowly being released from the Epstein estate. So this stuff is coming to light, but Pam Bondi said she had the entire file on her desk back in like March or April or something like that. Now she's saying there's no files. So the files exist because Pam Bondi, the number one attorney in the country, and for argument's sake, we can say the world, this is the United States after all, said these files existed back in March, and now she's saying they don't. So she was lying then or she's lying now. One way or the other, she's lying. And now if they swear this House representative in, I believe it's House, then everything is released eventually. The mechanism gets triggered, the votes come to the floor, and the mechanism is triggered, and these files can be released. And these victims can finally have closure. With over 1,000 victims, that should be something that this country wants. For some reason, President Donald Trump, who was Epstein's close compadre, friend, I mean, he's said that this guy likes girls on the young side himself. And, you know, they've been recorded together. They used to fly together everywhere. He used to be on his private jet all the time. There was phone records. His name is popped up on the files that were actually reports that Donald Trump had the FBI go through and scrub his name. 1,000 agents go through and scrub his name out of the files like he was one of the victims. Those were the reports. So now the House is still closed down. The House leader, moron Mike Johnson, is swearing in people that are on the Republican side, but he's refusing to swear in this woman. He was saying, "Oh, well, I'm not swearing her in because somebody else didn't swear somebody in." And that somebody else was like, "Wait a minute, time out. That was done upon request. I'm going to let Dion take over and try and rebuttal some of this." But so it appears that the House is closed in reality to protect the Epstein files.
Well, family, we are on a different schedule here behind the scenes of the think tank. But yes, Speaker Johnson, they have finished their portion of trying to get the government open. Now it's in the Senate's hands. So strategically, for Epstein style files, I'm an America First kind of MAGA guy. So I'm interested in seeing what's going on. Now, so he's just biding his time until the Senate reopens the government. And then I guess we'll see this person. But right now, we're getting closer to November and the holiday season. So there's going to be even more excuses to, drag this on, I think, if it continues.
Well, it doesn't look like they're trying to close this thing anytime soon. The Democrats are saying, well, we've bent the knee, we've bent over, you've gotten over for all this time, and that one big bad bill, we should have stopped you there. We messed up. Big ugly bill, my bad. Sorry. We messed up. We should have stopped you there. But no. We let that bill pass, and now you're trying to destroy the lives of tens of millions more Americans. And because of that, this is the Democrats' thing. This is what they're saying. We're not going to allow you to take away the healthcare. Now, this is something very popular amongst Americans.
Extensions. You got to be clear. They're not trying to take away.
I am going to recover it. I'm going to cover it. So now the Affordable Care Act did not work 100% like it was supposed to. And during COVID, there were parameters put in place that allowed temporary relief that helped tens of millions of Americans lower their healthcare costs. Now, these were supposed to be temporary settings that were supposed to be triggered at a release after COVID was over. So the Republicans are arguing they were temporary, let's take them off. The Democrats are saying, well, the tax break for the rich was supposed to be temporary, and that's costing way more than these health benefits, and it's only helping a few. Well, these health benefits are going to help the masses, or are helping the masses, and why are we protecting the rich and going to let the poor suffer? And the working class, regular working people that go to their 9 to 5, and most of us with 2 jobs, gotta lose credits that are in that is the extension. Is credits that make the Affordable Care Act more affordable, that really gives us the ratings that we get so that we can afford to do these things. Why would we tear that away at the same time giving tax breaks to people who already get the best tax breaks without those tax breaks and don't even need them because they can buy and sell islands, like richest people in the world? Why are we worried about protecting them? And so basically, they call it a wealth transfer. They're like, yo, you're going to take the health care from tens of millions of American citizens so you can afford to give tax breaks, which is putting more money in rich people's pockets. That's where they're making their stand. And that is what the talking points are for the Democrat Party. Now, that's the entire spectrum on both ends, unless there's something I missed. Dion, you want to say something?
Well, again, it's being reported now that it was the Democrats, just like other things, they're the ones that put the expiration date strategically on some of these line items for political purposes. So the Obamacare, remember that name? You don't use it anymore for some reason. Obamacare had an expiration date on it. Well, the extensions had an expiration date, but they're supposed to be temporary. Remember, COVID was an emergency. The emergency of the COVID pandemic is over, education purposes. So you don't need these extensions anymore because people have become more dependent on them, illegals. So that's why they're trying to say, you know what? We have nothing to discuss here. Republicans, Democrats, just open the government. You're being petty at this point. And the general public is starting to see it.
I think the general public is starting to see that the immigrants are a scapegoat because when you look up the law, when you look up the Affordable Care Act, there is no provision where an illegal alien can get health care through it. Federal laws don't allow immigrants to get Affordable Care Act, get any kind of health benefits.
Sanctuary states and sanctuary cities do.
Local sanctuary states have provisions for illegal immigrants, loopholes in the law where they will be treated, but they cannot get the tax breaks of the Affordable Care Act. So saying that they can is using illegal immigrants as a scapegoat to strip away health care from tens of millions of Americans.
No, having this government shutdown does. So the Democrats, again, the messaging has to be very clear. So we're going to leave it up to you, the viewers from the think tank.
No, because you just said something that didn't make any sense that I really didn't understand. You have to explain that a little better. I really didn't get that.
Well,
You lost
the
me.
Democrats, remember, the Republicans have the votes, all have the majority of the votes. They need 60 of them. So we just need a few more Democrats to be bipartisan and vote in the Senate to open the government instead
Did you
of
hear that? Did you hear what you just said? Did you hear what you just said? You just said that they have to be bipartisan and vote for Republicans. See, that's the MAGA chip right there. What you just said was that it is bipartisan to vote for the Republican side, which is that's what you just said. If they vote for the Republican, what the Republicans want, they're being bipartisan, which is insane. And voting against the American people's best interests also.
Actually, that's not true because the American people voted in their best interest by what? Re-electing Donald Trump. And then the big, beautiful bill was passed. Schumer voted to continue to open the government. Remember earlier in the springtime when Schumer said, "Hey, government shutdowns are bad," he voted to keep the government open. But now all of a sudden, it's a bad thing to have the government open. So
It's not bad to have the
Democrats
government
are
open. It's
being
bad for
nice.
tens of millions of people to lose their health care, which is what will happen.
No, no, no. All this stuff would happen is not going to happen.
It's
So
already happening. What are you talking about? I received my letter. So you're going to tell me what's happening, what's not happening, and I'm already affected. So all of the nonsense you're talking is nonsense to me.
we just need 60 votes. We have what,
So that
54,
I can,
55?
I can
No,
stay in the position
Democrats,
I'm in now.
come
Thank you
on.
very much. I'm glad that you're actively against what's best for me and my kids. I appreciate that.
Well, what's more likely? The Republicans are going to come around or the Democrats, four of them, will break to reopen this government. We shall see.
I'm happy that you're actively against tens of millions of Americans. This is what the MAGA party represents. Anyway, if you are enjoying the content, like, share, subscribe. We have a members only section now where you can get exclusive content and early releases. This is Leo and Dion signing out.